Welcome again to this channel. In this video, we are going to look at the choose function. What does the choose function do and how can we use it? That's what we are going to look at. In the meantime, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Let's jump into it. Let's start by understanding what the choose function is. The choose function takes an index number, you give it an index number and a list of values. So if the index number is 1, it will return the value at position 1. If the index number is 2, it will return the value at position 2, and so on. So we are going to first understand what the choose function does, then 2, how we can use it as a lookup, how we can use it to look up values instead of a VLOOKUP, how another example shall demonstrate how we can allocate quarters, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3 to dates, and lastly, we shall see how we can combine the choose function and the sum function. So stick with me because we have a lot to do. So let's get started by understanding the choose function. So I enter choose. The first is index number. So let me say 2. Then the values I give it, say I give it red, I give it green, blue, I give it green, so I'm using this example to demonstrate what I mean. So it returns blue. Why does it return blue? It is because blue is at position 2. So if I put here 2, I'm telling it return the value at position 2. So it will start counting 1, red is 1, blue is 2. So it returns blue. If I put 1 here, it will return red. So I put 1, it returns red. So if I put green, it is going to return 1. If I put 3, it is going to return green because green is at position 3. So it will count 1, 2, 3 and return green. So I put 3 here, it's going to return green. So basically, in simple terms, this is how the choose function works. You give it an index number and a list of values. So the index number, it will return the value at that index number. Now, I've hard-coded this, but you can use references as we are going to see in our next example. In the next example, I can still use choose, but this time I can say return a value at position 2, and I give it a list of value. Last time I typed these values, but now I'm going to use references to cells. That's my first value, my second value, my third value, fourth, and 5th. So because I'm saying 2, it is going to count 1, 2. It is going to return a value in C3, and the value is in C3 is A2. So I expect A2 to be returned. So if I put 3 here, it is going to return a value at position 3. This is position 1, 2, 3. What is the value in C4? C4 is going to return A3. You can see it returns A3. So using these two examples, I hope we understand how the choose function works. You give it an index and a list, and it returns the value of the index you have given it. So let's look at the next example. We have, assuming we have products 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, they're all in this list. And what we want to do, we want to categorize these products. We want to categorize these products. How do we categorize these products? We are going to categorize them using this criteria here. In other words, if a product is labeled 1, we want to mark it red. If it's labeled 2, we want to mark it blue. And it's labeled 3, we want to mark it green. So, of course, for a small list like this one, you can go here, say this is 1, so we give it red. This is 2, we give it blue. But for a long list, that would be time consuming. So we can achieve this using the choose function. So we are going to say index number. Now our index number, we can decide to choose it from here. Then we give it values. What values am I giving it? I'm giving it value red, which is in cell H3. Then I lock it. I give it another value in blue, which is in H4. Then I give it another value, which is in H5. So, as we said, it will look at C2, which is our index now is 1. So it will return the value in position 1. Position 1, we have H3, and what is in H3? Red is in H3, so to return red. So if we move to the next cell, this one, our C2 will change to 2, so to return the value in position 2. So let's enter. Because this is 1, it returns red. Now let's copy this down. You can see for 2, it returns blue, which is this. For 3, it returns green. For 1, it returns red, and so on. So we can use the choose function to categorize products based on an index number and a list of values that we have given it. Now, next we are going to look at a more interesting example. I have dates here. It can be a long list of dates. And what do I want to achieve? I want to run through this data. These are my dates. And I want to run through this data, and I give it the quarter. I want it to be quarter 1, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So if this is in the first quarter of the year, I want Q1 to appear here. This is in the second quarter. This is still the first quarter, Q1. This is second quarter, I want Q2, like that. So you can have a long list of this kind of data, and you want to categorize it by quarters. The hard way would be go through one by one. Which quarter does this first figure fit? Give it, but you can even make a mistake. The easy way or the simpler way is to use the choose function. Now, I'm going to use both the month. I'm going to first extract the month. So let's say month. If you don't know how to use this function, I have a video on dates. It gives functions that work with dates. There are quite a number. I talked about in that video. You can look at it. So what the month does here, it extracts the month from here. So this is my month, my date, and my year. So it is extracting the month 1 January and put it here. So I'll copy this down. So this is the 3rd month, this is April, this is July. So it is pulling out the month from the date. Now this is going to be like my index. This is going to be my index. Maybe I should have done it here. I say this. I'm going to take it slow so that you understand. So I'm going to use this as my index. Now, if I use that as my index, index is 1. When it is 1, I want 1 to be returned because 1 is in quarter 1. When it is 2, I still want a 1. When the month is 2, I want a 1 to be returned because month 2 is in quarter 1. Then if it is a 3, if my index is 3 like this one, I want still 1 to be returned because I want the quarter 1 to be returned. So when it is a 4, if my index number is 4, that means the month is 4, so I'll return 2. So it will count 1, 2, 3, 4, return 2. So in other words, if it is month 5, 2, month 6, 2, 7, 8, 9, then if it is 10, that is quarter 4, then 11, quarter 4, then quarter 4. So I say my choose. If my month is 1, it will count 1 and return quarter 1. These are my quarters. These are my quarters. So if it counts, my index is 1, it will count 1 and return quarter 1. If my index is 4, if my month is 4, it will count 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will return the quarter as 2. In other words, I want the quarter to be returned. So that's why I put for the first 3 months, they are all quarters 1. For the next 3 months, they are all in quarter 2. The next 3 months, they are all in quarter 3. And the last 3 months are in quarter 4. That's why I repeat these values so that if I choose month 1, it will count 1, return this quarter. If it is 4, month 4, it will count 1, 2, 3, 4, return 2 as quarter 2. I want the quarter to be returned. So that's why I have put them like this. So if I do like that, copy down, you see that if it is month 1, it returns quarter 1. It is month 4, returns quarter 2. Month 7 returns quarter 3 because the 7th month is in quarter 3. So doing these two, now I can combine it in this one formula here. So I'll say choose. My index number is the month here. So here in the first one, it will be first month. So I want in what month is this first month? The first month is 1. Because this month, C2 is going to return 1, meaning it is month 1. So if it is month 1, the quarter will be 1. If it is if the month here is 2, the quarter will still be 1. If the month is 3, quarter will be 1. If the month is 4, quarter now will be 2. Month is 5, quarter is 2, then 2, then 3, then 3, then 3, then 4, 4, 4, like so. So this is the first month, so it is Q1. So I can copy this down, remove this, and you see that we have achieved. This is January, it returns Q1, March Q1, this is April Q2, July Q3, this is December Q4. So that is the difficult part. But if you want to add in the Q, you can put quotes like this, n%, so that we have Q1, copy down, we have Q1, Q2, Q3, like so. So this way, if you're given a long list, instead of going one by one, identifying which quarter, you can use the Q function to achieve the same objective. Next example where we can use the choose function is here I'm combining the sum and choose function. So I have data here for Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So I can decide to say choose. My objective is to get the sum of a quarter based on the value I've given it here. So if I give it 2, I want the sum of Q2. If I give it 3, I want the sum of Q3 to be displayed here. So I'll start by choosing this, choose this one here. Now I want sum for Q2. I'll bring in the sum later. Let me first use the choose. Then the next argument are the values. So I have 4 quarter values. This is my first values. These are second values. These are range of values. That's my third values, comma, fourth value, comma, and do like that. So it gives me an error, but don't worry about that. Now, if I come here and put in the sum, what is it going to do? It is going to get the values and get the sum at position 2 and to sum up these values here. So I put enter. So because I put here 2, it summed up values at position 2, and we can confirm it like so. If we find the sum here, we find that position 2 is that. So if I copy this across to check whether I've got my answer right, if I change this one to 3, I get 296, which is the sum for this. If I change it to 4, I get 356, which is this one here. So it can also take a range of values in a given position and returns them and does computation. That's what I have for you today. That has been the choose function. We have looked at how we can use it as a lookup, how we can combine it with the sum function, and I hope you enjoyed it. Watch again. Please hit the subscription button if you have not subscribed, and watch again. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.